Hello, welcome to episode number 6. My name is Bo Dash and thank you for stopping by. And if you guys haven't had a chance to check out the previous episodes, please go ahead and do, and I hope you enjoy them as well. Basically for this episode, I was planning to do something very fun and quick and short. Basically keep it sweet and short. And what I had in mind is I went through a bunch of drawings that I had from a while back. And what happens in the studio sometimes when we want to create a new game or new idea, you go through this brainstorming process, and some ideas they pass the approval stage and some don't. And some drawings, even though they might be interesting, they just get abandoned and you never get a chance to look at them again. And that's unfortunate because you still spend some amount of time on that idea, on that drawing. And later on that idea can be very useful. So what happens here, actually this is one of the drawings that I had I think about a year ago, and I spent 10 minutes or something on it, and it just didn't pass the approval process. We want to create some casual game. So what I've done, I found those ideas, and recently the amazing thing about technology is at this point you can save this idea in a second. So what I do, I just take a picture off of them and I save it to my drive, to my Google Drive or any basically cloud service that you use. So that's the amazing thing, and later on you can go look at it and with a fresh eye, and it might spark a new idea. It might you might just go over it and you might want to use it again for some another game or painting. So I thought it would be a cool concept to pick one of those drawings and download from my drive and basically start painting over it. And the other thing you got to keep in mind, I didn't use a scanner because I realized a lot of people don't have access to that, but most likely everybody got phones and tablets. I do have a tablet, so that would be the easiest thing for me to do. I just took a second. So basically the whole concept is just a creature, and obviously it has some perspective problem and stuff that I'm gonna fix through the painting. I'm gonna paint over those problems and I'm gonna fix them up. And but it's almost like something in between the bird and a parrot and some kind of animal. So it's a mixture of like a kind of bunch of creatures together. And I'm at the moment we just painted the head because obviously the face is the most iconic part of a character, and that's what I usually begin designing a character with. If I want to do an initial character concept, I most likely go for the face. I try to design a face, and people got different basically processes. Some people like to basically start with designing a silhouette, which is actually a very good idea, designing a whole silhouette, the whole body and everything. But I usually like to paint the face first, and you got to realize I spend like probably about max 10 minutes on this drawing at the moment. So it's not a hugely long process for drawing. You just got to keep your drawing very loose and very still readable. So that's the whole idea. And the other thing you realize, I usually actually put some texturing and I start taking color picking from that texture. But for this one I thought it would be cool just start with just a drawing and paint over it and coming up with colors from memory. And I try to keep the colors very cool and very blue. And the other thing I have to apologize for probably, it's just the artifacts. There's some artifacts on the player, and sometime when I zoom in, zoom out, they appears, and hopefully they're not that distracting. Hopefully, so you still gotta be able to follow and watch. But again, like if you guys haven't seen like what we do and what we are actually about, go check out our company site. It's www.zoolax.com. There's all the information underneath these videos to our games and basic to our websites, so you guys can check out what we do. And actually, at this moment, we're working on a couple of games. Hopefully, they're gonna be out for the time for Christmas, if everything goes to the plan. And that's why it's been very hectic and it's been very busy. So, but I'm trying to do my best to still don't forget my commitment about putting out these videos for you guys. And the other thing you gotta keep in mind is when you actually scan a drawing in, you see there's a lots of lines and there's a lots of like a stuff there. But the basic structure is there. But it doesn't mean you can go out of your way and change that structure. And sometimes there's lines and the way I actually draw, I try to use those lines to mostly describe the form. So I just wrap those lines around the form. So later on when I paint over it, I have an easier time understanding those forms. And as you can see, it's almost like I'm actually drawing with the painting. And the other thing you got to keep in mind, just like I keep moving around the painting and try to paint very loose, and try not to get stuck in one place, because what's going to happen if you get stuck in one place, you're just going to keep working on that one place, and when you zoom out, that place is just going to stand out. Obviously, there's sometimes you do that on purpose. Sometimes you just add more details to one area to create basically to make a focal point. So when somebody look at the painting, they look at that area more often. The other thing I'm actually doing is like I don't use a lot of custom brushes. I use a lot of like I use mostly default brushes of Photoshop. It's not a good thing or it's not a bad thing. I'm just like, I like it this way. It just keeps things simple and nice for me, and I don't have to worry about dealing with lots of brushes. And I make brushes as I go along. As I work on a painting, I just make some small adjustments to the brush. So that's just like, yeah, that works for me, But I know there's lots of artists out there that got their own custom brushes, and there's some people actually they know how to use it very good and to their advantage. And I recommend actually going and looking into that. Maybe later on I can do some demonstration how to make a really cool custom brush that you can use to create buildings, sci-fi structure, ancient structure, trees, vegetation, rocks, you name it. And later on I might, if you guys are interested, I might gonna just send me an email and I might just look into doing something like that for you guys. But in most of these painting, I'm gonna assume that you guys know the basic principle of painting and drawing and perspective anatomy, and basically I'm gonna focus on the whole painting and what it takes to paint for casual game industry. And the other thing I like to mention is at the moment actually we're looking for the painters. It's obviously a paid job. We pay to our all employees. It's a paid job, and we're looking for painters, 2D painters, and that either have experience doing concepts or that have experience working in a basically on a casual game or working on a hidden object sort of game, And if you guys check out some Big Fish games or check out our games, those are type of painters we're looking for. And the cool thing about this character, actually, one of the things about a character, lots of people say you create a story for a character, and that's actually help a lot. For example, what I like to do is I like sometimes create characters based on the people I met in real life. For example, it's character based on somebody, some professor from some college that I met like a long time ago. So it's kind of like a kind of taking, sometimes it's good to take inspiration from real life. And we meet so many people in real life that sometimes they're more than enough reference that we can use for. And even like people who write stories, and lots of artists that do that, they use inspiration from real life and everyday events. And but for this one, I just want to try to create something. It's almost like this person or this character or this creature, it's got to be a kind of an intellectual type. And that's why I made it a parrot. And it's supposed to look kind of intelligent. That's why I made the eyes kind of big, and it's got a certain weird dignity about it. And at this point, I just want to emphasize the reason I'm making the uh, basically rice. I guess if you look at a screen, basically the left side of the face, or if you look at a screen, it's the right side of the face, very dark, because I want to create some show, emphasize the sun direction or emphasize the light direction more, and show the light actually coming from like a upper right hand. And as you can see, I'm very careful. Like I want to keep this painting in a very cool, and keep the colors very cool and basically very calm. So I don't want to create use a lot of warm colors. I'm trying to stick to a lot of cool colors, and I'm doing that on purpose because I want to create that kind of weird sci-fi look, and I want to give that kind of impression away. And you got to realize that actually the other thing you got to keep in mind is uh, this painting took me like I think about 40 minutes or something, and this video like speed up about uh, it's about 2x. I think it's sped up about 2x. So it's like twice as fast what he's seeing here. And that's, I just try to keep this short and sweet. And the whole concept and the whole idea is, sometimes when you have an idea and have it drawing and lying around, sometimes it's a cool idea. Just pick those drawings up and trying to paint over them, uh, and see if you can inspire some really cool idea out of them. And that's what I'm doing with this one. So I'm not planning this painting, or I'm not planning anything. I just found this drawing. I thought it would be really cool to see if you can make something cool out of this old drawing that I found on my Google Drive. And that's what I'm doing. And a lot of people actually, sometimes we have like some ideas, and maybe for some project and some the situation, it's not a good fit. But the great thing about it, later on, maybe in 1 year or 2 year down the road, the same idea can be a perfect fit. And why throw it away? Sometimes I like to go look at old ideas and see if I can get some inspiration out of them, because you still spend some brain energy for them. So uh, I personally believe it's not a good idea to throw those ideas away. And especially the great thing, as I said before, about technologies, it gives you a chance to save those ideas easily and more rapidly and more efficiently, and you can access them very easily and very fast, and just with a click of button you just access them. And I found that amazing. And as you can see, actually one of the trick I used to uh, show the light direction, I'm just adding some like a really kind of light, basic, almost a whitish kind of color to the ears and the side of the beak and basically the eye. So I'm just giving it a bit of highlight, and that highlight, it gives so much design to the whole character. Again, I apologize for the artifacts. I'm gonna figure out what's the best way to fix that, fix this artifact, so it wouldn't be as distracting for you guys to watch. And again, if you guys haven't had a chance to see what we're doing, you can download our games, and most of games, our games actually are free, and you can check them out and you can try them. see what we actually do. And I'm gonna actually I'm working on a website, and I'm gonna improve the website, and I'm gonna create a section on our website so you guys can come in, and I'm gonna post all these lessons for you guys on that website, and I'm gonna categorize this for you guys so it would be more accessible and more easy for you guys to check them out. As I said, I have like lots of cool ideas I planned to share with you guys in the future. So subscribe, so hopefully you guys don't miss out on those. And again, as you can see, like I'm trying to balance the whole painting, and I'm just picking color from here and there, and I work on I try to not lose that drawing underneath. You know, like uh, I painted so much over it that you don't really see the lines, but at the same time, I'm very careful because the drawing itself, it has so much character, and it has so much lines, and it got so much personality. Uh, it's very easy when you're painting over something, especially in the beginning, because of the thickness of the paint, you lose the character of the drawing, and you lose a loss of quality. So what I do is I try to paint kind of slowly over the drawing. So I kind of still see the drawing, I see the lines, so little by little I can get rid of those lines and replace them by paint or with a darker color or something appropriate. Here I'm trying to add some subtle texture to the beak, and I just use a scatter tool. Now I'm trying to see if I can inspire some texture on the beak. And it's lots of these things that I do is kind of experimental as I go along. So it's not really nothing is planned. It's like I'm experimenting by coming up with some sort of texture for a beak. And again, I'm like making that side of the ear like kind of really dark, almost just a silhouette. Because you really don't need to see that. I already explained the detail of the ear in a highlight area. And I just need a couple of lines, a couple of thin lines to show the whole detail. And as you can see, like this painting actually look very colorful. And I haven't used a lot of color in it. I just use like some greens and some brown for a beak. But because I add a bit of color here and there, the painting itself inspires so much colors. And in the back of my head, I have some reference to a parrot. So in the back of my head, it's good to have a wide library of knowledge about different animals or different colors or different materials. So when you actually paint, you can make a reference to them. And actually, I have some photos from Paris, from some animals. Not a lot actually. I have like a small library. I think I got like a 10 or 20 images. And obviously, with the internet, everything is easier. You just can type in an animal, and just 1,000 references gonna come up. And just like it's still good to have one or two picture just handy, so you always can take a look at them and get inspired by them, because nature by itself is just so complex. It got so much colors, it's got so much quality. It's very hard to recreate that in a painting. So if you want to create a especially fast type of drawing or painting, it's very useful to just take even a fast look at it. And in a final, I'm just gonna add some final adjustment as I always do. Most time I try not to do this because sometimes playing around with hue and saturation can kill off a lot of colors that I used before. But since it's a very fast painting and I spent like almost 40 minutes on it, uh, I don't think it's gonna hurt much. And basically, um, I basically made that hue and saturation kind of darker tone, and I paint inside the alpha channel to give it more sense of the light direction. Again, my name is Bo Dash, and thank you for watching episode number 6. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode and subscribe to us. And basically, you guys can follow us on Twitter and connect with us on Facebook. And I got all those links in the description below. Thank you again, and take care, and see you in the next episode. Bye. Again, if you like this video, please check out our other episodes and also check out our free adventure game on iTunes and Google Play. Also check out our free live wallpaper for your Android phone on Google Play. You can try it for free. Thank you again and see you later. Bye.